Hello and welcome to a quick look. Me, GamerWolfSix, of another furry visual novel. This one, Alley Arcane Shop, or I think it's called Arcane Shop. Anyways, before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, you can go to their Patreon, which is $5 a month. But they also have a yearly plan where it's like, what, 10% off? So let's go through the little synopsis of this game. Let's see. Alley Arcane Shop is a fantasy world based furry visual romance visual novel. You become the protagonist, Resque, who runs an arcane shop in the back alley, and you'll meet 4 furries. Discover the fate and future of the arcane shop with your partner. Now, I think this game is made by Korean people because, well, you can sometimes tell by the art style, but it's also, the first language is Korean, then English, then traditional Chinese. I wonder which one's traditional Chinese. Like, there's Mandarin and Cantonese. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a linguist. Though I do use Duolingo. Though I don't know Chinese. Or Korean. Let's start. Boop. What is your name? Default. Is Rescue? Is that... How do you spell rescue? Or is it rescue or something? Yes, it is right. Alright, let's play Rescue. Chapter 1. This is my magic shop, where colorful potions and shelves glisten in the sunlight streaming through the window. The sunlight caresses my face and uplifts my spirits, and I can't help but smile. Despite being located in the city's back alleys, I signed the dotted line without hesitation, for the place was nevertheless exquisitely lit. Also, I guess the prices would be cheap and stuff, and if you get a good reputation, then, people come to you. And So this is basically Potion Crafter, right? Still, a back alley is a back alley, so customers were hard to come by in the business's earlier days. Eventually, I had to resort to handing out some of the more questionable or dangerous goods. That doesn't seem like a good way of building a customer base. My income became plentiful. Maybe it's supposed to be plentiful. To the point, I've even fantasized that if I keep it up, I might be able to open up a shop inside the castle. I guess, plentiful. I'm not sure if there's a place to put it. I guess like the English wouldn't be 100%. Just saying. Of course, I had no intention of leaving the comfort of my shop in the back alley. I dab on the shelves with my feather duster, while mussing over idle daydreams and what I'll have for dinner today. Oh, maybe that's musing. Thud. The sound of something crashing made me jump and turn my head. The fur, so dark it almost gives off a blue sheen, has hints of red at the tips. Tips. This wolf beastman, adorned with glossy white fur that creates a striking contrast, is Gahel, a mercenary with an extraordinary career that belies his age? Belies. I've never seen that word before. It was as if the scars covering his muscle-bound body were testament to his prowess. I've signed a long-term contract appointing Gahel as my bodyguard and private mercenary, providing him bed and breakfast, apart from the down payment. Gahel wordlessly looked at me with those deep blue eyes, as if unsatisfied. I think it was because he almost knocked over a box obscuring the stairway while coming down. Good morning? Without answering, Gahel stooped to move the crate at his feet. Wait, I haven't enchanted that yet. Just leave it as is.
Rescue. This has been sitting here for a week already.
He reprimanded me in a low, husky voice. Husky. It oddly felt like I was being scolded. I had to take care of other important things first. I set down the duster and futilely shuffled the potions around in an effort to avoid Gahel's gaze. Barely forcing down a frown, Gahel spoke. Why don't you at least move it out of the way? Okay, I'll move it to the side later. Later? Gahel stares at me sharply, as if trying to pierce me with his eyes alone. Why am I sensing the charisma of a mercenary who has escaped the clutches of death countless times on the battlefield? That is the question. I own this store, and I'm the one who hired the mercenary. It felt like the roles were reversed. Fresh out of options, I crouched on the floor and grunted as I tried to drag the heavy box. After seeing the pitiful display, Gahel walks over and grabs the box, presumably to carry it for me. I mean... Oh, that was the thing too. I completely forgot about that thing up there. What is it? Ah, okay. It's stuff about things. Okay, I'm not gonna click on that anymore, because then I might have to censor information. I guess we need information voiced. Achievements. We don't have any. Oh no, his affinity changed. Gahel lifted the crate with a small huff that scarcely could have been called a grunt. His brawny arm muscles effortlessly held the box as if it were a toy. Leave these little tests to me, Resque. Of course. Lost for words at the fine display of his power, I could only nod in agreement. Oh right, and I completely forgot. If you want me to play this game, tell me and I'll point to it, and I've decided to make a new system where there'll be time slots where no matter what I want, the one with the highest one gets, gets done first. And then if there's, a tie, then I get to pick which one is stuff. Because I was like, I'm not doing the system right. And if you want me to quick look any other games, tell me, and I'll add it to the random number generator list. Where should I put it? Huh? Oh, here on the desk. I quickly cleared the magic books, and Gahel placed the box in the cleared space. I'll do anything for you, so let me know if you need me. Wink. Gahel also helped me set up the heavy alchemy cauldrons the other day. He who, just moments ago, looked upon me with a gaze fierce as Gale's, was now smiling at me with gentle eyes. I smiled awkwardly and thanked him. Thanks for always helping me. It had only been a month since Gahel moved in with me, but he's always stayed by my side, constantly asking me if there was any way he could be of help. His primary job was to protect me as bodyguard, but he was willing to take on more than that. While I appreciate the help, sometimes it can feel a little overwhelming. He's not gonna have to change heart. He's not going to have a change of heart and change of additional fees, right? Oh, okay, I get it. I don't have a lot of money to spare this month, with all the other ingredients, dungeon prep, and artifacts need to buy. Are we going on adventures? The dungeon prep. Is there enough stock for health potions or healing potions? It's not abundant, but we should be fine for this week. Healing potions are the item customers reach for most often, so Gahel seems to be keeping tabs on it. If I sell an item notarized by the Magic Tower for a significantly lower price point than in the Magic Tower, then mercenaries will have no choice but to swing by my shop. I'm no Magic Tower associate. That I leveraged some connection to snag a notary document is more like it. I don't 100% understand, but okay. Let's just keep one shelf stock then. Let's just keep one shelf stock. Okay. Thanks. I'll have to make another batch. Anyway, you need ingredients for making potions, and you gather them in dungeons. Okay. Common alchemical ingredients can be bought in the city, but magical ingredients require an understanding of magic to be handled properly. Eventually, I'll have to enter the dungeons myself to gather the herbs I'm fond of. Though we might be able to send Gahel, or maybe just put, like, I don't know, a quest on a board? If, that wouldn't be too expensive. It's just one of those things where it's like, isn't gathering herbs and stuff like low-level stuff for adventurers? Like, get 7 boar hides or tusks or something. Fortunately, mana herbs, the main ingredient for health potions, aren't easy to find in any dungeon. Finding the monsters in dungeons, however, is a different matter. After nearly losing my life going into a dungeon alone, not a good idea, I hired a mercenary to protect me. That's how I met Gahel in a mercenary guild a month ago. Finished stocking the shelves. Huh? Oh, thanks. I can do the cleaning. As I watched Gahel lay waste to the dust, even snatching from me the feather duster I was holding, I reminisced about the moment we first met. Sometimes I look at people's bodies, I'm like, that is really muscular, and then I think about my body, and I'm like, because I don't see myself 100% as muscular, but then it's like, oh, not so much in the arms, but definitely in the chest, I'm like, oh, I kind of look like this guy. Ish. I got big pecs. Not really moops. But, it's like it could fit 2 dinner plates on my chest. Ooh woo. The Mercenary Guild always has no shortage of dangerous missions and even more dangerous mercenaries. It's strange how little quarrel or uproar there is amongst mercenaries when they are unlike knights who are bound by honor and loyalty, driven by power and money alone. It's never quite a quiet day in the Mercenary Guild building, especially when it's home to so many carnivore beastmen, but today was different. Resque opened the guild door to find a strangely deserted room with a handful of mercenaries sitting around, all of whom one could tell at a glance were low ranking. What happened? Why are the mercenaries nowhere to be seen? I became shrouded in confusion, but submitting my request was a more urgent matter than finding out why. I stood before the front desk. Lucas, the receptionist, looked at me with a friendly smile. He's a cheater! Good day, Resque. He spoke as if he already knew my purpose of being here. Are you looking for a mercenary to accompany you in the dungeon again? As if familiar with my routine, he began flipping through the paperwork to find a suitably. I can read, I swear. English is my first language. A suitably mercenary, though I guess that isn't 100% right, even before he could hear my answer. That's right, Lucas. Same request again. For now, I can only offer you one mercenary with demanding requirements. I can only offer you somebody that is highly demanding. Nothing wrong with conscripting mercenaries through recruitment posters, but nowadays, due to demon slaying mission, mercenaries won't even bother if the pay isn't higher than usual. A monster slaying mission? Yes, there's been an increase in monster activity near the castle, and the count has mobilized the nightly orders. But the number of monsters is higher than expected, and they've had to hire a lot of mercenaries lately. It's not every day that the Count steps up to the plate. Lucas spoke as he repeated the process of thumbing through the documents of potential mercenaries only to dismiss them. They say there's a new monster colony. Do I hover over that word? No, I guess not. His explanation helped me understand why the guild was so quiet. So everyone jumped on that mission, even the mercenaries who weren't directly hired. They must have offered a bounty that could light a fire in the eyes of any mercenary, unless he liked the skill or valued his life. The pay for monster slaying missions is quite handsome, I suppose. Yes, in addition to the basic bounty, the mercenary also gains the rights to the materials obtained from the demon he killed. My mundane dungeon-rated bodyguard request stood no chance against the Count's high-pay contract that comes with magical materials to boot. So, even if I approach the recruit notice, nobody will even give me a look. Sorry. I slept well last night, but still was very eepy in the morning, and I did a bunch of exercise today. Why do you think I got these big muscles? Which you can't see because I don't really post myself. Though maybe I'll do some videos where I cover my face. But yeah, sorry for the reading hounds. I was irritated by the suddenness of the situation, but in the end, I only had one choice to begin with. Okay, please stand by at the empty table over there. Lucas went up to the second floor and immediately brought back a mercenary. Negotiate the terms, and let me take a look at the contract when you're done. Lucas kept his instructions brief and returned to his seat. Hello, I'm Resque. Or what? How do you say that word? Because I'm like Resque, rescue. R-E-S-Q-U-E.
Rescue.
Okay, rescue. Looked at the mercenary and greeted him. Before me stood a wolf beastman with eyes that gleamed piercingly. His outfit, that consists of not much more than a leather belt and a pauldron, I'm not sure what that is, may appear indecent due to his revealing nature. But it was as if his body from the black and white fur of his well-trained muscles was a suit of armor itself. And somehow he loses the loincloth covering this. Because of course I looked down there. With a red coat draped over one shoulder and two long swords. Oh, the other one's down there. One at his waist and the other on his back. He seemed to be a practitioner of a fast and fluid sword style. His deep blue eyes and the numerous scars on his skin revealed the many battles and experiences he had endured. What's this? His dark blue pupils dilated. He seemed to be looking deeply at Rescue. I began to feel a little uncomfortable under the pressure of his unexplained silence that stretched on without any purpose. Unable to stand the awkwardness, I spoke up. My apologies. My name is Gahel. Gahel, coming to his senses, hastily introduced himself. Mr. Lucas said your contract had some conditions. Yes. Gahel offered me the long-term contract for 1 year. It was my first time signing a long-term contract that wasn't a one-time deal, which made me hesitate. However, there was often an instance that threatened my business, and I needed a way to protect myself even outside the dungeon. Is it because we're in the back alley, or is this some kind of like guild stuff? Also, is this thing filling up with information? Not really. Wonder why those are red. Moreover, Gahel was no ordinary mercenary. Among other things, that brooch on Gahel's cloak told me he was a trustworthy mercenary. The brooch was engraved with the emblem of a famous mercenary group known as the Colorine, proving he was a mercenary of tried and true skill. I don't think it'll counterfeit. If I hired somebody as good as a bodyguard, my business would go off without a hitch. But hiring a mercenary with that caliber caliber would cost a fortune, so my second worry was that of finance. A 1-year contract. Well, fine, but I have my own conditions. I'll provide you with room and board, but may I ask you to protect me outside the dungeon as well? He replied immediately. No problem. I continued explaining further details of my situation, and I don't have enough gold coins to be able to afford the down payment up front. I'm going to pay for everything, but the retaining fee with artifacts. So why don't we write a formal contract in a month's time when I finish the artifact? However, he answered with a smile. We can discuss the specificities later. Let's make the deal right now. Specifics, I guess? I asked in surprise. Are you serious? I know the owner of a magic shop, or you're the owner of a magic shop. As a mage and a merchant, you're a beastman of your word, aren't you? I had some doubts since the terms of the deal ended up being a little too favorable for me, but in the end, I cited a risk. The risk was worth the reward, and accepted his offer. Okay, let's seal the deal then. By smooching. This is how I and Gahel made a deal and ended up living together in the shop. Despite first impressions, Gahel was surprisingly cordial, except for his always stern tone, and as I warmed up to him, we became what one may call friends. And because he even helps me around the shop, I find myself in a strange relationship that's both comfortable and uncomfortable. After a morning of cleaning the store and displaying the merchandise, I get ready to greet the customers at the counter. And there's always someone who shows up first when we open around 9 a.m. A regular customer is what I would have called him if it wasn't for the issue. No, a big issue. About time for him to show up, right? Chime. Someone said, speak of the tiger and he'll come. And right now, that very tiger seems to have just walked in. So what's the problem with this guy? I guess we'll see. The name of the tiger, whose bulky size is so large it fills the doorway, is Elred. He is the commander of the Berenstein? Would it be Berenstein? I just kind of want to look at Berenstein Knight Order of the Courts. Wait, is it? Okay, it's Berenstein Bears has an E here and an A there. I was like, is it the Berenstein Knight Order? The Berenstein Bears? Reset face. Ha ha ha. Greetings. Entering the shop with a thunderous laugh, Elred immediately spots Resque and gives him a flirty smirk. With each step Elred takes, you can hear the slight clanking around sound characteristic of thick metal boots. His attire is odd, in a way that could only be described as armored, but not armored. While it's common to see mercenaries strutting around almost naked, it's different when it's night. The first thing that catches my eye is his abdomen. His big, hard six-pack, chiseled oblique muscles were exposed for all to see. Now, I don't have anything as defined as that usually, but I have something kind of low defined. And if you lower your gaze a bit, you can see the rest of him, minus the parts covered by his groin protector and loincloth. The first time I saw his backside, I wondered if I was under some kind of curse and was seeing things. It's uncertain whether the problem lies with the blacksmith who crafted such armor for the knights, or with Elred's confidently strutting around in this state. For now, it remains a mystery. Does it not matter to him as long as his vital spots are covered, like a mercenary's armor? But then what's the point with wearing plate armor? In In that fleeting moment, Elred must have noted my downward gaze, because his green eyes gleamed dangerously as he continued to speak. Am I finally getting your attention? I certainly do have an attractive body. That level of brazziness left me speechless. Well, I can't deny he's attractive. His deep orange fur, black stripes are glistening, and his glutes of his backside look solid, as if they could burst if you squeeze them. Ooh. Shaking off these thoughts, I promptly greeted him. Good day, Sir Elred. You're the first customer today as well. What brings you here? Pushing the thoughts to the back of my mind, I got my act together and bowed politely. Elred is a jovial personality who doesn't sweat the small stuff. But I mustn't skip the formalities, for his lineage is a prestigious noble family that has produced knight commanders for generations. Of course, I'm here today to see you in all your glory. What do you think, Resque? Have you still not changed your mind? In terms of status and looks, I'm more than suitable as a romantic partner. Oh, so he basically comes here every single day to be like, I want you to be my boyfriend. If you agree, we could start today by touring sites of the castle and discussing our further blah blah blah, or future. This is the biggest problem with calling Elred a regular customer. To him, a magic shop is not a place where he comes to buy things. It's a place where he comes to flirt with me. I declined again and again, all to no avail. In the 3 months since he started to visit me, I could have fallen in love with his unwavering devotion, but there's a reason I can't. Elred is said to be the most famous flirt in all the castle, a promiscuous man who cares not for species nor gender. Flirting like this is as natural to him as breathing, and mistaking such behavior as something exclusive of me could easily lead to an embarrassing situation. So, do you think he's kind of lying when he's like, our romantic future or something like that, or does he mean like, not platonic but polyamorous or whatever? To be Elred's lover would be to jump into a hot, no, scalding scandal. Sir Elred, unless you're looking for something to purchase, I'd like to ask you to leave, as you're interfering with our business. Seeing me refuse the offer, with a forced smile on my face, Gahel spoke up. Gahel maintained an utterly serene expression, casually speaking words that effectively served as a dismissal. It's nothing more than dealing with a moderately obnoxious customer, but I could tell right away that Gahel was very annoyed. I guess Gahel also likes us. Gahel, your attractive attitude remains as arrogantly as ever. Arrogant. Take a cue from Resque. One could tell how cultivated he is from his posture. Well, thank goodness for that. I remembered my face turned pale the first time Gahel was rude to Elred, fearing he might be arrested for insulting nobility. However, Elred always laughs heartily and plays along, despite Gahel's impolite remarks. It is unclear whether he's indifferent to the disrespect or showing mature tolerance to impress me. And Resque, why are you hiring such frail mercenaries? Why don't dismiss this frail fellow and come with me? Only Elred could look at Gahel's muscles in front of him and call him frail. I think I gotta sneeze. Hopefully I'm not coming down with something. Well, I don't have to go anywhere, I guess. What's that face? And check time, I guess. Okay, we're good. Elred had moved close to the counter, flexing his arms as if showing off his muscles, staring at me as if to eat me up. And, just like this body, he looks and just like his body, he looks quite frail down there too. I doubt he can fulfill a man's nightly duties. Jesus, that's rude. You have to be about my size to be adored by a lover. Adored by a lover. He slides down his groin plate to reveal the underwear beneath and winks at me. His underwear, bulging as if it was a brimming pouch, is barely maintaining its function with but a thin string. Like, at first I was like, okay, he's a bit forward and whatnot, but then it's like, wow, you're insulting someone else? That's kind of rude, man. It's red. What can he do with a body as dull as a pig's? And I'm confident when it comes to size as well. He slammed his wiener on the table. Stop. When Gahel was really about to pull down his pants to prove his size, I reflexively slammed the thick spellbook I was holding down the counter. At the crashing sound, they both straightened their clothes, as if they'd become conscious of me. The situation where I had scolded not only Gahel, but also Elred, had given me a headache. Why don't you guys just fuck already, okay? We're in a back alley, just go down the ways just a little bit. Oh, they're gonna smooch. For a moment, I wondered if I was about to meet a horrific demise after being taken to trial. But fortunately, Elred laughed and slung his arm forcibly around Gahel's shoulders. Elred's friendly disposition and Gahel's ice-cold expression formed a stark contrast. Ha 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 ha! I do like your spirit. That's what men do. I breathed an inward sigh of relief. Gahel did not speak any further, and simply nudged away Elred's arm. Chime. The bell at the entrance rang, signaling another customer's arrival. Perhaps apologetic for causing disturbance at this time, Elred placed a gold coin on the counter. Wait, where did he pull out that coin from? Not the time to think about such things. It was in his loincloth. I pulled myself together and tried to give some to Elred, who was about to walk away. Well, he might need a healing potion. Hopefully we have enough. Resque decided to give Elred a healing potion. I called out to Elred, who was about to leave, and stopped him. If you ever get injured, use this. It's very effective. Is this the famous healing potion from your shop? I didn't give you a gold coin to get something in return, but I'll put it to good use. He seemed satisfied. You will remember that. God, I always hated games like, maybe not always hated, but like, grew to dislike those Telltale games where it's like, this person will remember that. And it's like, okay, it says they'll remember everything, but they don't always, it wouldn't always come up and stuff like that. Like, the thing I hated most about it is how it's like, no matter what you choose, the story is gonna stay pretty much the same. And it's like, really? So if I make smart choices, they die. If I make dumb choices, they die. Or I should have done the reverse. Dumb choices die, smart choices die. It seems I've been too much of a disturbance. Well then, I'll come back tomorrow, Resque. As he was leaving, Elred threw a wise smirk and exited the shop. Gahel's gaze cut into my back of my orange head like a knife. What? Do we have orange in the back of our head? I mean, we have orange clothes. I've always been mentally exhausted, but today had taken a bigger toll on my mind than usual. A gold coin is a gold coin in this business, but it's hard not to be worn out by Elred every morning. I decided to start by asking the customer, who just walked in, what they were looking for. Hello, what are you looking for? Oh, I'm here to buy health potions. I was told I had to buy them here. Had to? I automatically started spouting off my rehearsed remarks. You've come to the right place. My shop's healing potions are known for their high quality, authorized by the Magic Tower. Standard potions are available here. The price per bottle is... ... Thank you. Chime. The beastman who appeared to be a mercenary bought 3 potions and left. Recently, there's been an influx of new faces, mercenaries coming in early to buy potions. I smiled inwardly, forgetting a little bit about the mess I was just in. How long is that muscle pig planning to keep coming here? Unlike me, Gahel, still apparently irked by Elred, irritably put money in the safe. As Gahel was restocking the potions, he suddenly approached me with determination. Resque, you must never believe the words of a ledger like that. Do you understand? He grabbed my shoulders with both hands, with a very serious look on his face. There's never been a lack of seriousness in Gahel's face, but right now I could almost feel an adamancy akin to someone's last words. Adamancy? I might be saying that wrong. Let's just put in the thing. Berenstein Bears.
Adamancy.
Yeah, I guess it kind of sounds familiar. Not understanding why he had gotten so serious, I just nodded. Okay. Now that I think about it, the two didn't have a great relationship from the beginning. Elred's flirting with me. Gahel wanted to kick him out, but Elred belittling Gahel in return. And so the tension between them grew louder by the day. But neither Gahel nor Elred had a long-standing relationship with each other, so it's hard to mediate the two. There's a small part of me that wonders if one of them is going to pull out a weapon or something, but, well, that wouldn't be any of my business. Time flew by as I delivered sales pitches to customers and tended to ingredient processing. Before I knew it, the sun was setting outside, casting a warm glow into the shop. I decided it was time to close up for the day. Let's tidy up and wrap it for today. Thanks for your help, Gahel. Gahel nodded and began to store the displayed items back on the shelves. On the shelves? Let me just look back at the thing. Okay. I organized the cash box and the ledger, taking stock of the remaining items. Looks like we're running lower on healing potions than I thought. I was planning to go to the dungeon for supplies next week, but at this rate, that won't be soon enough. Gahel, let's start preparing for a dungeon visit tomorrow, and let's head out as soon as we're ready. Yeah, I should also recheck my equipment. Are we headed to the Retina dungeon again this time? No, last month we had to go farther because of a monster colony emerging near the castle. Now, it'd be best to head to Tazia dungeon, the closest one to the castle. While each dungeon has its own unique magic flows and changes from a material gathering perspective, there's no significant difference between the two. As long as someone hasn't gone and plucked all the mana herbs, any dungeon should be fine. The closer, the better. We've been to that dungeon frequently before, and it's not known for particularly dangerous monsters, so there's no need for excessive preparations. Rescue. Dungeons can be unpredictable. No matter how low the danger levels can be, a dungeon is still a dungeon. You must prepare for the worst to survive. It's kind of weird how, like, in fantasy stuff, dungeons, you know, the place where you put people to be locked up, like in a castle or whatever, somehow turned into synonymous with hey, this is where adventurers go to fight like monsters or like liches or some kind of like demons or whatever. Or also just synonymous with, hey, this is a high-risk environment. Gahel's sincere advice makes me nod automatically. His words carry more weight, considering his Transverse doesn't. Reading yawns. Transverse dungeons filled with terrifying monsters. You're right, I'll make sure we're well prepared. But even as I respond, a part of me harbors a complacent thought. Complacent? Yeah, whatever. There haven't been any deaths in the past few years, and even novice mercenaries frequent low-risk, level-low dungeon. The worst we might encounter is probably a mutated monster. Wouldn't be something like a smoke bomb be enough? Let's start preparing tomorrow, and for now, let's go get some dinner. I flip the sign outside the shop to indicate we're closed and lock the door. Another day passes. I woke up earlier than usual the next morning. Bright sunlight streamed through the window, illuminating the room. I debated sleeping in a bit longer, but then remembered I had a lot to do today, and promptly got out of bed. Man, the main character is buff as well. As I walked down the still dark corridor on the second floor of the shop to head downstairs, I heard a faint creaking noise. What's that sound? Driven by curiosity, I followed the noise. Though through the slightly open door, I could hear Gahel's heavy breathing. I have to censor something. As I got closer, the increasing sound of the groans and the rhythmic creaking of the bed instinctively told me what he was doing. Let's not. Because then I'd have to censor something as well. Also, are the back... I don't know why, but suddenly looking at this screen, I'm like, is this AI generated? I can't really tell, though. I mean, the characters aren't, I don't think. But, yeah. Anyways, feeling a bit disappointed, but wanting to respect his privacy, I decided to leave. Quite energetic this morning. Hey, sometimes you wake up and you're like, I want to beat it. What was that sound? Sounded like a car screeching. Worried that our eyes might meet through the small opening in the door, I carefully backed away. I chose to be considerate to avoid embarrassing situations. I went quietly away, deciding to go shower first. Observing Gahel, usually so cool and experienced, I realized that even he had his beastly moments. It's called man moments. I descended to the ground floor of the store and began to prepare to enter the dungeon. I looked around the shelves of the store, looking for items to pack. Let's start with the basic essentials. I gathered my supplies, rope, hooks, so on, and reached for the lantern that caught my eye, then hesitated. I debate whether or not to bring a source of light, as I can create light by magic, but I remembered Gahel's advice and decided to take it. He also packed a sleeping bag and other miscellaneous items. I also think about the injuries that can occur in combat and pack healing potions. Suddenly, I remembered special potions I had stashed in the basement. These were my own versions of the expensive advanced healing potions sold by Magic Tower affiliated alchemists. Sorry, all of a sudden my mind was like, hey, you remember Delicious in Dungeon? I'm like, yeah, I do remember that. I kind of want to watch it again. I mean, the food looks so nice. I want to eat it. Of course, I had used forbidden methods for their creation, so I couldn't make many of them. Weird. I wonder what those are. I usually take them as insurance for more dangerous dungeons due to the potent effects. However, these potions, because of the recipe and the need to keep them secret during the Magic Tower certification process, must never be discovered. Most would naturally assume this potion has been certified too, but if the Magic Tower ever discovered its true nature, I'd be in a fate worse than death. I hesitate over whether to take it to the dungeon, considering its low danger level. But it wouldn't hurt to take it as a precaution. I've kept it hidden well so far. Let's take Gahel's advice. I decided to pack a special potion. Right, it's still a dungeon after all. Better safe than sorry. It can keep it well concealed. I wonder what makes it, like, forbidden. Resque retrieved the special potion from the secret safe in the basement. The red potion was carefully wrapped and placed in the bag. I hid it so tightly that even if a thief got their hands on it, they couldn't easily take it. Have I gathered everything I can from here? Now, ready to buy preserved foods like jerky and dried fruits, I prepared to visit the grocery store. As I was putting my money back in my pocket, I heard footsteps from the second floor. Gahel came down, looking surprisingly refreshed. Good morning, Gahel. Good morning. Are you order preparing? I should have woken up earlier. It seemed Gahel had just finished some busy work. I looked at him with a knowing smile. Feeling my gaze, he looked at me questioningly. Is there something on my face? No, just look. You look more dependable today. I don't understand what you mean by that all of a sudden. Anyway, I've already showered. Can I help you with anything? I was a bit taken aback. Gahel, who usually takes second guesses before showering, even after I repeatedly tell him to, he really dislikes getting wet. Typical of a wolf. Wash? You? Gahel blushes a little and excuses himself. Well, I do wash when I feel like it. Seeing the odd shyness of Gahel's chest and stomach, I immediately recalled the situation from upstairs. I see, so that's it. Better let it slide. Well, sure, that happens. I changed the subject, feigning disinterest. Anyway, I need to go to the grocery store to buy some preserved food. Oh, and I have to stop by the Mercenaries Guild, so it might take a while. It's okay if you stay here. Take your time bathing. Normally, Gahel would have insisted on accompanying me to carry my belongings, but this time he just nodded in agreement. Alright, I'll do some maintenance here. I left Gahel behind and stepped out of the shop. I guess this is AI generated. Like, I'm not 100% sure, but you can, and I don't want to be like poo-poo this person because they use AI stuff, but it's definitely things where it's like, you see the shadow kind of going here, but then the shadow's going that way, and stuff like that. Though maybe it's just me. I think I've seen another game that did it, where it's like, I've done a quick look of it before, not too long ago. After stocking up on plenty of jerky and dried fruits at the grocery store, I stopped by the Mercenaries Guild to check for any information or updated maps of the dungeon. There wasn't much, just some occasional reports of energy waves inside the dungeon. It's akin to popping bubbles caused by shifting mana flows within the dungeon. It can lead to mana backflow, but that seems unlikely. I headed back to the store, double checking everything in my head to make sure I didn't forget anything else. Turning right at the Mercenaries Guild, I saw a crowd gathered. Amidst severely broken tree fragments and fruits rolling on the ground, there were guards with spears and a few angry people visible through the gaps. With very upbeat music for, something bad might happen. Clearly, something significant had happened. I felt bad for the fruit vendor. My cabbages! But the locked street was frustrating. The street leads directly to my shop. Taking a detour would mean winding back to the through the back alleys. Yeah, probably don't want to go through the place with the guards and crowds and stuff. And hey, we go in the back alleys. Is this bad? To avoid congestion, I enter the back alleyway. As expected, the back alleyways were dimly lit despite the midday sun, giving it an overall dark feel. Walking in the quiet alley, my footsteps sounded unusually loud. Exclamation marks. I don't know what it is, but I can maybe guess. As it concentrated in sound, I could pinpoint its direction. Turning right off the path, the sound grew louder. Ha. This time, it's mixed with someone... What? Damn it. I wasn't quick on the draw, so I'm going to have to censor that. Yay. Curiosity piqued about whether my guess was correct. I turned the corner, and sure enough, there was a scene not typically seen in the back alley. Though you might see it in the back alley. But to give reference, it's the tiger guy that was flirting with us. Of course. It was a naked Elred, his muscles glistening in the sunlight in the bright morning light, shining through the gaps between the buildings. Also, I feel like having those jewelry there would be bad with armor, just saying. And beneath them was an equally naked wolf beastman, clutched at the wall, and, breathing heavily. They're having passionate conversation with their bodies. That's a weird way. I'm not sure if that's a translation error or just a fancy way of saying it. Like a beast with two backs. Beneath the dark shadows of the back alley. I had anticipated some sort of indecent unfolding, but never imagined Elred would be involved. I don't know. Huh? His bulky frame, filled with the narrow alleyway, the muscles of his upper body, seemingly sculpted from countless hours of training, were visibly swollen. The sting of tiger, there's stripes etched over his enormous muscle, accumulated his wild appearance. Hey, how's it going? You can't see, but he's looking at us. Elred noticed Resque. Elred, whose gaze shifted to a frozen Resque, seemed equally surprised. But perhaps that was my misconception, as he quickly shifted to a sly smile and addressed me. Well, I didn't expect an audience this early in the morning. Ha ha! Have you come to enjoy my show? As he pondered how to respond, Elred started moving again. His piercings, glistened, swaying with, gestures. We're going to leave this scene. So I can, stuff. I decided to leave Elred alone and turn away. So it's true what they say about nobles being more lascivious? I knew Elred was a Casanova, but to openly engage in such acts in an alley was beyond my imagination. Truly a pervert noble. I would do stuff in public if, I wasn't afraid of, that being decent. Just saying. I mean, I have done stuff in public, but, I didn't want to get caught. Just saying. Because, when you do stuff with a dude in Texas, you might want to, hide. Or, you can't do it in your house. Being like, hey, Dad, I'm going to go upstairs and don't listen to any of those noises, okay? Everyone's green eyes seemed to devour me, but I managed to ignore them and turn around. Feeling strangely guilty, even though I've done nothing wrong, I hurried along the alleyway. Okay, time to put the audio back on for you guys, and this. I'm not sure whether or not I'm gonna have to cut out those clapping sounds. The plapping sounds. I finally arrived at the shop. Oops, right, I have to click over here. It was weird, the wolf guy kind of had the same color as him, but he didn't look like he had any scars. And I guess the guy seems to have a bit more of a bluish color than this guy. And also he's at the shop here. Rescue. Hey, Gahel, are you already done preparing? Already? It's been quite a while. Ah, Gahel leads me inside. I realize it's already past 2 p.m. I've never had such a hectic day. It was a good decision to close the shop for today to prepare. The preparations are almost complete. I just finished sharpening the swords at the forge. I must prepare food and a map. My mind keeps drifting back to what I saw today. It was a sight so unbelievable, even though I saw it with my own eyes. I never thought I'd see it on the back alley. Trying to regain my focus, I take some items out of my bag to organize them. I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten lunch yet. Maybe I should eat some bread. Should I get out some cheese? Yes. Hell yeah, cheese. I say that a bit too loudly, my voice awkwardly cracking. I try to hide my embarrassment. I gulp down some cold water, and after a deep breath, I feel a bit calmer. After lunch, I talk to Gahel about the dungeon. We should be a bit cautious of the energy waves. True, but they are a little weak, or they're still quite weak. We can quickly go and return tomorrow. Gahel didn't argue with my words, but his expression was still one of concern. It's not until the next day, when I entered the dungeon, that I bitterly realized how naive my thoughts were. And with that, and it being chapter 2, I think that is a good time to call it. Hyena! So, that's going to be the end of this quick look. So, please comment, cause I like comments. Tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks. Otherwise, I'm looking at the other characters, because you could probably see them at some point. Like, dislike, tips, tricks. Otherwise, if you like my YouTube and like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos to help it grow. Really, there's nothing in any of this? And spay neuter your animals to help control the pet population. And if you want me to play this game, tell me, and I'll give it a point, which will put higher on the list for the, user's choice time slot, or whatever. Which, it could be a while, who knows. Hopefully it's not whatever you guys pick isn't as long as Silo. Christ, that's long. Actually, I think one of the time slots comes after Silo, it does. Maybe I'll need to switch that one around. Because Sileo's gonna be there for, ever. Yeah, well, I'll think about that in a bit. And if you want to suggest any other, furry visual novels for me to play, then tell me, and I'll put it in the random number generator. I don't know how many pictures there are. I'll just do this. Gallery. Oh, so it goes to this screen, right? Yeah. Just wanted to take a look. See? Oh, they're covered up. Him? Okay, he just has the one scene. You? Click. He has two scenes. He has the one scene, which you just saw. He has one scene, and him, just the one scene. Though I guess you could also see those things on, their itch.io page. Also, who the hell is this? Okay, there's a picture of, the wolf on the right, basically doing a firefighter thing. That's kind of weird looking. Okay, it's not weird looking, it's just, do they have firefighters in this universe? I don't know. Oh yeah, we have to pick, sorry, I was just looking through all those pictures here, where you have to see what we're going to be doing next week, which, give me one hot second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Survey says 6, which is Stardust Kids. So boop that. Close Arcane Shop. Start up Stardust Kids. Can we maximize it? Oh, doesn't seem to be the right one, so how about we do this? Nope, still not the right one. Oh, I guess this is a side play from the same people that did that one thing. There we go. I had to do one of those things. Ooh, where's my mouse? Okay, I can see it there on my OBS, but I can't see it on the main screen. I don't know. This will be something that I'm just going to have to work on at some point, because I couldn't maximize it. So, the story. By the same people who did, I Promise, I think, because it looked like it had the same characters. Or something like that. Yeah, like one of the characters from I Promise. Anyways, Deputy, head of the UFO study club, wasn't prepared for the inspection of the club's property. Yeah, property will bring. The long-awaited summer break has to be postponed until Kurt finds a lost item, a home planetarium. The story is about friendship and bonding under the starry sky. Is this team from stuff? Though I wonder if we would do side play. I was gonna be like side plays, but then it's like duration 2 to 10 hours. How? Like, I know that some people will be like, yeah, this is 4 hours, and then I might do like 6 or 8 episodes, which is like, okay, it's a bit off. But how do you go between 2 to 10 hours? Unless it's one of those things where it's like, you pick one route, it's quick. You pick the other route, it's, you know, the true ending and all that stuff. But yeah, if you want to play this game, it's available free on itch.io, but yep, it's just available on itch.io. It doesn't have a Patreon. Anyways, until next time, another quick look, me, GamerWolfSix, of this game. So thanks and see you.